Good morning, class. Today we're going to be learning about covariance, and I'm going to have two students or one student help me with the correlation coefficient and the regression line. Okay, so first we're going to find the covariance for the following data, and the data is given. So we're going to first do our height. So our given data is 62, 60, 66, and 68, and 74. That's our given height. So our given weight is 120, 180, 140, and 180. Okay. So first of all, we have to find the mean of the height and the mean of the weight. So in order to find the mean of both, we have to add 62, 66, 68, and 74, and then we would divide by 4. And if we were to plug that into our calculator, we would get the height, it's 67.5. And we would do the same thing. You will add these 4 numbers, and then you will divide it by 4, and we will get a solid 155. So we get a solid 155. After we find out the means of both the height and the weight, we go on and find the next column, which is the height minus the the mean of height. So in order to do that, we get 62 minus 67.5, which gives us a negative number of negative 5.5. And if we keep on doing it with 66 minus 67.5 and go on, we get negative 1.5, 1.5, and 6.5 for our fourth number. And that's for the height. Oh, and to check if your answer's all right, this has to equal to 0. So if you add those up, you have to get the answer to be 0. So next we go on to the weight minus the weight mean. So as we did for the height, we're going to get the 120 and subtract it from 55, which gives us negative 35. We do it with the 180 minus 25 minus 155, which gives us 25, negative 15, and 25. Once again, you add them up to check your answers, and you have to get the total value of 0. Is everyone following along?
Yes.
Okay, I see some nods. Perfect. Okay, so our third column, we have to find the height minus the mean of height, and then we multiply the weight minus the mean of weight. So in order to do that, we multiply these two. We multiply the height minus the mean of.
I have a question.
Yes.
So you just like multiply the negative 5.5 times negative 35?
Yes, you multiply negative 5.5 times negative 35. So we multiply 2 negatives will give us a positive, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So our answer is 192.5. So remember, to get the mean of the height minus the mean of height, you simply subtract 62 minus 67.5, and we go on here, we do the same 120 minus 155. And after doing these two, and this is all just to find the covariance, which we haven't even plugged it into the original formula to get the covariance. These are just basic mini steps to get to what we need. So that'll be 192.5, negative 1.5 times 25 gives us negative 37.5, following negative 7.5, and 162.5. Now, when we add these, it's not necessary for it to become 0. Whatever the answer is, we're going to use this to plug into our formula. So if you add all of these up, it's going to be 310. Okay, so now we got the number. We did all of this to get to this. So 310 is our number. Now, this is the formula for the covariance. So it's the sum of xi minus the mean x times the y1 minus the mean of y all over n minus 1. So we got this. We got this by this. So if we plug it in, that'll be the sum, which is 310 divided by n minus 1. So n is our variables, and since we have 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to put 4 minus 1. So that's 310 divided by 3, which gives us 103.3333. So gives us 103 and 3. So we did all of this to get to our covariance. Now, as we said, covariance. As we said, we also, next we have to find the correlation coefficient. And after that, the regression line. So if I can have a student volunteer come up and give me the correlation coefficient, 133 will be a needed number. Andy, can you please come up?
So now that we found the covariance, which was equal to 103.33, we can move on to the correlation coefficient. And this question, they give us a standard deviation of the height. The standard deviation of height, which is equal to 5. And they also give you the standard deviation of the weight, which is 30. To find the correlation coefficient, you need the formula, which is covariance over the standard deviation of height times the standard deviation of weight. So when you plug in, it is 103.33 over 5 times 30. These numbers, you get them from the information given. And when you plug in this to your calculator, you get 0.689. And that is how you find the correlation coefficient. It's easy, right, guys?
Yes.
So we found the correlation coefficient, and now we need to find the regression line. And to find the regression line, we need a formula, nothing new to us, which is y equal a plus bx.
Perfect.
Okay, so the b in this formula is what we got here for the correlation coefficient, which is 0.689, and then you multiply it by the standard deviation of weight, which is 30, over the standard deviation of height, which is 5. And that is equal to 4.13. And then the A, the mean of weight. So the mean of weight, it was 155 minus what we just got right now, 4.13, times the mean of height, which was 67.5. So this is the mean of height, and this one is the mean of weight. So when you solve this, you end up with negative 124. You guys are following?
Yes.
Okay, so when you plug in to the formula to a plus b times height, you already have the numbers here, so you end up with this, negative 124, which is the A, plus B, 4.13, times height. This is your regression line.
Oh, are we done with the question?
Yeah, because it asks for covariance, which the professor showed us how, and then the correlation coefficient, we got this, and then the regression line, which is this, all of this.
Perfect. Class, did you all understand what your student peer just did?